This week, transportation leadership showed off the scaled-down plans for Austin's Project Connect. It's meant to connect the city through rail lines. Austin Transit Partnership is responsible for delivering that project, while Cap Metro will maintain the program once it's constructed. I talked to Dottie Watkins. She's Cap Metro's president and CEO about this week's news. Okay, Dottie, thanks again for being with us this afternoon. Huge announcement this week, Project Connect, those 5 scaled down proposals. We've heard a lot of mixed reactions from people who will use the system. And so at Cap Metro, where do you stand on those 5 options and what are your thoughts?
Yeah, so Cap Metro has been involved obviously in this process from the beginning. Many years ago, we came up with a vision plan for the region. That, with our partners at the city, became the Project Connect system plan that went to the voters in 2020. And so the place we're at now is figuring out what we'll build first. And so unfortunately, what we wanted to build first has turned out to be more expensive than we thought it was going to be. And so we need to build a little bit less first. We will eventually build the entire system. The plan is still the plan, and we're very excited about what that will mean for our community. But where we are right now is figuring out what we build first. So the Cap Metro staff has been involved all along the way in helping make sure we understand what are the options, what are the best ways we can move people through this community so that we can provide the best possible transit option to our customers today and in the future.
And customers do want that. They want the best options to really help move them and help them navigate the city. In terms of the proposals, is there one that you're eyeing?
You know, there's actually pieces of almost every single one that I like, and that's really part of what we need to hear from the community right now is what do they like the most and what do they dislike the most, so that we can take that feedback as we put together and go, okay, given all of the trade-offs, none of them are perfect, they all have pros and cons, and given all of those trade-offs, what do we think is going to be the best investment to introduce the Austin and Central Texas community to light rail? We're very excited about that.
Okay, and you're from here. You've seen the growth of this place, and we know that it will continue growing. Central Texas will continue to grow and develop. Is this sustainable for the growth that we'll see in the future?
Yeah, so Austin and Central Texas gets over 100 people a day that move here, and we have to have options for those folks. They can't all just get in their car and get on the interstate and Mopac. Like, that's just not going to happen. There's not enough physical space, and so we need to make sure that we're investing in options, and that's why this is so important right now, because light rail as a transit mode is a great high-capacity transit option that through the core of the city, where we're going to get the highest number of people who want to move in the same patterns, we can move them efficiently and quickly and in a smaller amount of space than if they were just all driving their cars. We're never going to be able to have a light rail system that gets everybody everywhere where they need to go, but making sure that we have options for everybody is extremely important, because we are not going to stop growing. We never have, and I hope we never will, because our continued growth and the vibrancy of this region is part of what makes us all want to live here. And so we're excited not only about the growth, but about how we can respond to that growth with these investments.
Okay, and then lastly, there is the Green Line that's connected to Project Connect. Do we have a timeline for that? Do we know when construction could start?
Yeah, so you know, the Project Connect program is a program of projects. There are so many pieces under Project Connect, and while the light rail piece is the most expensive piece, it is by no means the only piece of Project Connect. And the Green Line is a commuter rail line that goes from downtown Austin to the community of Colony Park, and then Capital Metro wants to extend it to our member city Manor to make sure that we can get them into the city more efficiently. That line is still in the program. All of the maps that we showed last week that had colored lines on them were very specific to the light rail program. The rest of the components, all of the pickup neighborhood circulators and the Metro Rapid lines and the Green Line are all still underway on their original schedules at least. So we're currently looking at the Green Line and figuring out what's going to be the best mechanism to get that implemented and how quickly might we be able to get it implemented, because we know that there's demand for that kind of service out there today, and so we're trying to figure out what are our options.
Okay, so a lot of work to be done. What are the next steps?
Yeah, there is a ton of work to be done, but right now we're in a roughly 6-week community engagement period where we really want as many people as possible to go to projectconnect.com and give us their feedback, send us an email, go to a virtual open house, invite us to your neighborhood association, let us know what you're thinking about the options that we've got on the table. We hope in early June to present a final recommendation to the Cap Metro Board, City Council, and Austin Transit Partnership Boards for their approval, and that will launch us into the federal environmental review process and really get this underway. So we're very excited about being at this point in the project.
Okay.